gang? Welcome back. Hope everyone's doing well. My name is Darwin. I live here in Scottsdale, Arizona. I like real estate. I occasionally make a video or two as well. Doing a quick one today. I just wanted to share some of the math on one of the properties that I have and run here in Arizona. I got this question 2 days ago when I was at a meeting. Someone I know who's currently in wholesaling and they're trying to move up into the rental and the landlord game asked me, like, what does it actually look like to run a fourplex? Like, you have one, you just got done renovating it. Last tenant moves in here in about a week. Awesome, can't wait. Like, what does it actually make? I said, okay, why not? Let's share this with everybody because, there's a lot of fluff out there. A lot of these people are like, oh my God, I got one rental property and now I have a Lamborghini and I live in Maui, and that's not how it works, okay? So let's walk you through it. These are actual numbers. Like I said, I'm not a wealthy guy. I'm just a dude who's out there, fixes up rentals, and it's working slowly. First thing, rentals, I call it TLG. That is the long game, okay? Rentals are not a get rich quick deal. Not much in real estate is actually, but rentals especially. One of the most powerful things about rentals is the power of time, okay? So as you're holding a property, as your tenants are paying your mortgage for you, you are not only getting rent money in, but you are stacking equity as you pay down the life of the loan, okay? So I want to be really clear on that. The passive income is nice. Anything that's left over, it's actually not all that passive, but the extra income from rental property is great. It can help you pay the bills. It does take a little while to scale up to where you can actually live off of it. Full disclosure, I go through periods right now where I don't really have any money. I have to pass up on trips. I stay at home, might cook lunch on my own. Then there's other times if we've sold or completed a project where there's plenty of money and I can go on a trip or go ride a motorcycle or do all the fun things, okay? So let me just show you quick math here. And this is a fourplex. This is right up the road from me in Scottsdale. They're older buildings, so they need a lot of love, and there's a lot of what we call deferred maintenance, meaning nobody did anything to the place, okay? So I bought this building for $399,000, okay? Long negotiation. It was originally on the market for about $450,000. Was able to get it in escrow and then get the seller hammered down because there were a lot of problems with the property. It had problems with the sewer, it had problems with the roof, the windows were old, the ACs were old. It was in bad shape, okay? So I bought it for $399,000, all right? The renovation, which I just got done with, and I haven't totaled it up to the penny because frankly, I'm exhausted and I don't want to do any accounting right now. The renovation probably cost about $120,000, okay? That's a lot of money, and I get it, that might freak you out, but this is what it takes to run bigger buildings and do a lot of construction. Right now, this is August of 2019, construction costs are also very high. I have just signed the last lease and got the last tenant moved in, so the new rent roll for the property is $5,132. I know that sounds a little weird, but we have a tax here in Scottsdale, which is like 1.5%. So you have to charge these weird amounts in order to collect that tax from the tenants, and it goes to the city. But that's what the rent roll is, okay? So $5,132. So you got $5,100 or so coming in every month. Awesome, right? 60 grand a year. But there's a lot that comes out of there too, okay? So PITI, what that means is your mortgage, your insurance, your taxes, and everything else that goes into paying for a property. So literally what that translates to is principal on your mortgage, meaning how much money you owe, interest on your mortgage, how much money you're paying the bank to borrow the money, taxes, we all love taxes, I'm no exception, and then your insurance payment, okay? Gotta have insurance. For me, that's just under $2,100, right? So we've taken just under half of this amount and it's gone. It's going to the bank. Here's the cool part though. The tenants are paying this with their rent. So they're paying my mortgage for me. My job is running the property, keeping it nice, and making sure that nothing breaks too bad, okay? So we're gonna go through a few other things. I have a different business model on this fourplex. So I have solar panels on the roof and mini split air conditioners in all the units. So I actually include the heating and the air conditioning in the rent of the apartment, okay? One of the big parts of this $120,000 is that I have a lot of solar up there, and solar is expensive. My power bill right now, if you want to jump over, I've got another video about the solar system at the apartments and exactly how it works. I don't have a ton of data. I've only been generating solar energy now for about 3 months. It's in the summertime and it's the worst time to start. Another property where I have solar running, my power bill averages about $40 a month, okay? So it's not a lot, and everyone might sit here and think, oh my God, you only pay $40 for power and you charge these people all this money for rent. The solar system sitting up on the top of that building, again, I haven't totaled up the math, but I'm in it for the price of a car, okay? Literally like a pretty decent car. In fact, the car that I drive, which is a little bit older BMW i3, that's about what I paid for this solar, okay? So before you think I'm killing it on the power, you have to understand I had to make that investment in cash in order to get that power bill to there, okay? The water bill, I've had the property now for about 10 months. The water bill averages $287 a month. I do have something in my leases where I audit every water bill once a quarter. And so I can adjust that number up or down. If the tenants are helping me conserve water and the bill goes down, I'll pass that on to them. If they're wasting a lot of water or using a lot of water, this number can ratchet up and it'll be reflected in the rent roll, okay? So these are the next couple things that come out of that every month. So R&M, basically what that is you putting money aside to do repairs and maintenance on the property, okay? That's different than this one. We'll talk about that in just a second, but R&M budget, basically things are gonna break, right? And it's little maintenance items that drive everybody crazy. So, you know, we have to pressure wash the building a couple times a year. That's usually about $250, $300 to have it done. You know, sprinkler heads break, maybe a faucet needs a new O-ring, you know, a valve is leaking in the shower. We have to replace a breaker or two in the box, just the little odds and ends. What I typically like to do is budget about 5% of the rent to just put it in a savings account every month. This is not money I spend. This is not money I spend on me. But R&M on a property like this would probably be around $250, okay? Some months, like the coming year for me, hopefully should be pretty uneventful. We just spent a lot of money here redoing all the mechanicals. But $250 is going to come back out of that and go into a savings account, and I'm going to forget it's even there until something breaks, okay? Because then I can use it to pay the handyman or the painter, or if I need to buy some parts and just do something myself, not a big deal, okay? The next part here, this is CapEx. This is something that you're going to get into as you move further up into the apartment world. The CapEx stands for capital expenditures. Unfortunately, the way tax code works, this changes all the time. However, think about it this way. CapEx is big stuff that's going to cost you a lot of money that's going to last for a long time. A great example here in Arizona is an air conditioner. I use mini split air conditioners. They cost me about $1,000 each installed, and I expect a 15-year service life out of that unit, okay? So what that means is at the end of 15 years, I need to have saved up $1,000 per AC to buy a new one, okay? The difference in apartments is that I have, on these two properties, I have 19 of these things running, right? So that's $19,000 that I need to save up because that's a big check to write, okay? If they all went bad at once, it would be very, very difficult financially to make that happen. So CapEx, I'm not putting anything away on this property beyond this budget until the start of 2020. Mostly because I've spent a fortune and I need to recover some rent money and pay off a couple little credit card bills. But 2020, we're gonna start putting $350 a month away on all of these units, right? So every month, $350, separate from the $250, goes into another account, and it's going to sit there until I need it for a big expense. A roof, a window, an AC unit, a new water heater, all of these things need to go. Most people say to use between 5 and 10% of your rent roll for a building for CapEx. I'm splitting the difference and using about 7% just because most things on the building are brand new. So there you have it. This is a 4-unit apartment building. It was a good purchase. I definitely got a great deal on the place. I probably spent more than I should have on the renovation, but I knew what the property was worth. And it's important to me to be able to go solar in order to include the power for the tenants. Because here's the last factor, and then I'll let you go. This rent number can go up every year, okay? That's just how rent works. If you rent a place for long enough, your rent is going to keep ticking up to keep pace with inflation or all these other things. So the cool part, remember at the beginning we talked about time, is that given a little bit of time, I'm shooting to get this number as close to 6,000 as I can. This number doesn't change because this is a fixed rate mortgage. So over time, you're going to make more money in the future than you are now. And that is what the rental game is all about. you might get a deal. I've got another video here for how to spot a good rental property. You can go check that out. We'll put a little link down here. But that's the cool part about rentals, that you might not make all that much now, but they're a sliding scale of income into the future. And I don't know about you, but I want future me to have more money than present me. So that's why I do this. Anyhow, I hope that was helpful. If you got any questions, best way to get me is actually throw them up on Quora. I'll put a link down here to my Quora profile. But I really enjoyed writing those answers, and if it's really good, we'll make a whole video like this and link back to it. So head on over. If you can put something in the comments that says Quora, I'll know to go look for it, and we can do more of these videos. In the meantime, go get some work done. If you need to scope out some rental property, check out that other video I have on how to spot them. Be good.